Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? Appreciate you joining me for another Knicks Nation post-game show. Saturday afternoon hoops, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time post-game. Wow, I love it, actually. I kind of like it. Talk about a ass whooping. They brought the belts out, ladies and gentlemen. Had to bring the belt out, ladies and gentlemen, because the New York Knicks demolished the Atlanta Hawks 121-105. Now the Atlanta Hawks stink. They'll be in the play-in like every single year. Trae Young, appreciate you guys in the chat. Crimes Dad says, did we win? Yes, we won. Crimes Dad. Knicks blew the Hawks out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me your time on this Saturday afternoon, evening-ish. Once again, appreciate you guys in the chat. Subscribe, like, all the good stuff. A lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Knicks got it done. Look, without their captain, I was about to say without their captain, OG Anunoby. Hey, Captain 2, OG. Jalen Brunson is going to return tomorrow like I predicted, and he's going to be back versus the Phoenix Suns, so that's a great sign. Look, this Knicks team took care of business today. I keep saying tonight, but took care of business tonight. Got the job done. They pick up their 49th win of the season. One more win until 50. Hey, now, Tom Thibodeau passes Pat Riley for the most wins as a New York Knicks head coach. Congratulations to Tom Thibodeau. And the Knicks are gearing up for hopefully a long playoff push. And right now, I don't know how you guys feel. I'm feeling pretty good about this team currently. And it's a lot of things to feel good about. Obviously, tonight they shot the lights out. But what's going on, people? Big Taz. Big Taz, hit him up. Eddie, what's going on? Nick, what's going on? Appreciate you guys in the chat. Tony, El Figgy, Dis Rover. I see you guys all in the chat. Who else am I missing? I'm missing somebody. I think I'm missing somebody. No, I think I got everyone. Tony, El Figgy, hit him up. Crimes Dad. Yeah, I got everybody. But, guys, big win. Big game for Mikal. Big game for Cat. Big game for OG Anunoby. By the way, Trae Young is now 7-17 against the New York Knicks, by the way. Just wanted to get that out there. I know he beat us in the playoffs back in 4 years ago, but he is 7-17 against the New York Knicks in his career. So just wanted to get that out there. And Knicks 32 assists tonight. Great game. Distributing. OG balling. You love it. You love it, man. Look, OG finished with 24, 4 assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 2 of 4 from 3. Cat, 30 and 11 from Karl Anthony Towns tonight. This 30 and 11 game was his 19th 30 and 10 game of the season. By the way, he's had 19 games this season with 30-plus points and 10-plus rebounds. Incredible season from Karl Anthony Towns. It's going to come down to the end here. I think this is the final week, right? Just one more week. I think next Sunday is the final Knicks game against the Brooklyn Nets. So this is it, guys. I mean, I'm excited. Hart finished with 1 rebound shy of his 10th triple-double of the season. They took him out at the end of the game. Good thing they did. I mean, you don't really want to push somebody for just to get his 10th rebound, but nearly a triple-double, 16 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds from Josh Hart. DeLon Wright, ladies and gentlemen. I had a lot of stuff to tell you about DeLon Wright. I'm hoping that I'm hoping DeLon Wright stays in this rotation. And I know Campaign was back today, but Thibs is big on keeping these guys in their roles, so I wasn't really worried about DeLon Wright starting or whatnot. Campaign is going to come off the bench for this team in the playoffs, but DeLon Wright is making a pretty decent case to play in the playoffs. Like he is. Like he's pretty good, right? He's pretty good, in my opinion. So 10 points, 2 steals, 2 assists, 1 board, 2 of 4 from 3. I like him. He's like an enhanced Elfrid Payton. Like he's like an enhanced Elfrid Payton a little bit. Look, he's been around the league. Obviously, he's bounced around. But Wright, honestly, once again, has done everything right. That was corny. But no, DeLon Wright has been playing solid for this team. Look, he's not amazing, but I do think come playoff time, he should garner some minutes in the playoffs because defensively he's 6'5", he's a bigger body, and I've already seen people say they would like to play him over Campaign. I don't think Thibodeau will go that route. I think he'll give it a couple of games. But in the playoffs, it's 7 games. It's a game-by-game basis. If Campaign and Landry Shamet are not giving you anything of value in the playoffs, now Tom Thibodeau can go to DeLon Wright because he trusts him. Me personally, I don't think he's going to go to right away. I think he's going to stick with his Campaign, Landry Shamet, as he kind of should. But as I'm saying that, I'm like thinking about it. But Shamet has been playing better. Payne was playing better before his injury. But DeLon Wright is making a case to garner some playoff minutes, in my opinion. So shout out to DeLon Wright. Shout out to Campaign coming back today. And, just good to see him back out there. Precious Achiuwa, first half. Precious he's going through a funk right now, man. But ultimately this Knicks team shot the ball extremely well tonight. 51% from 3. I keep saying tonight, by the way, today. 51% from 3, missed 3 free throws, 32 assists as a team. Anytime you can distribute the basketball like that, good things will bode well from that. And this Knicks team is sharing the rock. And honestly, guys, the way OG Anunoby is playing right now for this Knicks group is getting me extremely, extremely excited. First of all, one thing I noticed about OG Anunoby is that his transition handles are much better because early on in the season, bobbling the ball, losing the ball, just simple dribbling stuff, that tells me that his elbow is feeling 100%. And guys, the leap from OG Anunoby, I honestly continue to have no words, but at the same time, I'm going to say that it's been incredible to watch OG Anunoby with this leap currently. I mean, he's playing excellent basketball for this team, and that right there alone is getting me extremely excited heading into the playoffs, right? So, yeah, man, shout out to OG. Shout out to you guys in the chat. I see you all in the chat. Let's get to some of your comments. Nick, what's going on? Big Taz, salute. Shoquan says, you ready for another year of playoff excitement again with our Knicks, bro? LOL, I'm ready. Shoquan, I'm so ready. El Figgy says, salute to the chat. Crimes Dad says, hit the thumbs up button. Eddie, OG attacking the basket with confidence. Daniel, what's going on, Daniel? Eddie says, right defense too. Yeah. What's going on, Wrench? OG is the leap this year has just been incredible. Prezi says salute to the now 4th winningest coach in Knicks history. 25 more to beat Van Gundy for 3rd place. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. Let's give Tom Thibodeau a round of applause for that, man. Give Tom Thibodeau a round of applause for that. Passes Pat Riley. And, hey, I believe if he's here another year, I think he will pass Van Gundy. Definitely if he's here another year. But yeah, shout out to Tom Thibodeau for that accomplishment. Just wins, just wins. Wild Boy Trey says Cat abuses the Hawks. 4-1 with the GOAT DeLon Wright in the starting lineup. Look, DeLon Wright has truly been playing well for this team, and I think he needs to be in the playoff rotation. But if you were to give me truth serum, I would say I think Tom Thibodeau gives it a few games, and it's a game-by-game it's a process. Like every playoff game is its own chapter, right? I mean, it's not like the regular season where you can give it 10, 15, 20 games to see how it plays out. Nah. You lose 4, you're packing the cars home, you're going home. You win 4, you're on to the next round. So I think Tom Thibodeau needs to adjust. If Payne is not playing well, if Sham is not playing well, DeLon Wright needs to play, in my opinion, right? You traded for him. He's been parked on the bench, has been playing due to injuries. But tomorrow will possibly be the first time this season that this Knicks team has been fully healthy. Fully healthy. Fully healthy roster tomorrow, possibly. Deuce may be coming back. Mitch is going to play tomorrow. Brunson's going to be back. So that right there alone is exciting. Obviously, you want a healthy roster heading into the playoffs, but we will see how the rotations are. And I'm not sure that we're going to see Tyler, appreciate the subscription. I'm not sure that Tom Thibodeau is going to show his hand, but me personally, I think DeLon Wright at first in a playoff series will probably be the 4th man, and you're going to see Shaman and Payne, but he has given me just a sense of confidence that quite frankly, I didn't have before because we weren't seeing him play. But now we're seeing him play, and he's playing extremely, extremely well. So, my boy Chair says OG's going to ball out in the playoffs. Tori says OG's play is the biggest, most pleasant surprises ever. What's going on, Tori? Yeah, speechless. I'm speechless when it comes to OG Anunoby. We are currently witnessing a leap from OG Anunoby. A leap. And offensively, his handles are better. Fast breaks are better. He's making quick decisions. He's going downhill, using that 240-pound bull frame. We are currently witnessing a leap from him. And that alone is getting me really excited heading into the playoffs. Like, really excited. Like, if he's going to continue to play like this, and I know Jalen Brunson's coming back and there's only one basketball, and I know a lot of Knicks fans have questions about whether OG can keep this up with Jalen Brunson. I think he can. I think he can. Remember back in November, December, it's Knicks' second, third best offense in the NBA. Everything was clicking. The assists were up. Brunson's assists were up. I think this is the upside of this group. When OG's playing like this, and Mikal, he had 20 points tonight, 5 assists. He's becoming a distributor, which is nice. And that's like a sneaky part of his game this season. But guys, when OG is playing like this Knicks team is going to be extremely tough to beat. And I know, we have either the Pistons or the Bucks. I think we can beat either one. And we've gone down that road, but I think this Knicks team is going to be a tough out. And obviously we have Boston staring at us in round 2. But if our wings can match their wings, guys, anything can happen in the playoffs. I'm not sitting here saying that the Knicks are going to win the NBA championship, although that would be nice. But quite frankly, last month, I really didn't have that much confidence, and I'm starting to feel like I'm getting more confidence in this group simply due to OG Anunoby. Right? Am I alone in that? Like I feel like I'm getting more confidence in this group because of OG's leap. It's incredible. What do you have? I wrote it down. 9 straight games for OG Anunoby with 20 or more points. 9 straight games for OG Anunoby with 20 or more points. D. Tyler says OG just got to keep attacking and cashing out. Agree. Prezi says triple OG, a.k.a. the dog. OG the dog. Isaiah, I know I missed you. What's going on, Isaiah? Honestly, didn't know that OG had this potential to leap this high, man. Did you think he could? And I thought that he can get to, I would say like 80% of this, but I didn't think that he would get to this. Like, he looks like a star. Like, just being frank, he looks like a star. He's playing like an all-star. And those comments that he had yesterday saying that I want to win Defensive Player of the Year, I want to be on an all-defensive team. Now he's talking kind of, I love it. He's a little cocky, and I love it. He should be. He should be considered. He probably will be all-defensive team. But all the talk has been Draymond about defensive player of the year. But guys, I mean, he does everything. That's the beauty of OG Anunoby. He does everything. Like everything. Everything. Defensively, deflections, guarding two people, helping. Now you're seeing his offensive game just hit another level. And this is after he got the bag. This is after OG Anunoby got the bag that you're seeing this, right? Highest Knicks contract in Knicks history. Got paid the most money ever given out to a Knick. And we were saying it, overpay, the overpaid talk. Nah, man, this guy is not overpaid. He's not. He is worth every single penny of that contract. Every single penny. And to put the icing on the cake, knock on wood, he's healthy. That's the only thing you worry about with OG Anunoby. He's healthy, right? And honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to shutting these guys down in these next couple of games. I wouldn't. Because if we're not healthy in the playoffs, I wouldn't be opposed to shutting these guys down these next couple of games. These games, I know they matter for their statistics and whatnot, but you want to be healthy going into the playoffs. Had a little cat scare tonight when he went back to the locker room with his finger. But OG is just being an enforcer. He's being just, I mean, you saw it today. I mean, the facilitator, I mean, he 4 assists today, 24 points, a couple of kickouts, 3 blocks. He's playing phenomenal, guys. 9 straight with 20 or more points for number 8, OG Anunoby. Wild Boy says OG is an all-star. Let's go, man. I love it. I love it. Buzzer beater. We just need 2 more wins to break last year's record. I think that will happen. I think, look, Knicks have a back-to-back against the Suns tomorrow. I think that will happen, loud and clear. D. Tyler says, I want to see OG be an enforcer on court. Can he be a bully? Of course. Of course. Tori says, right now he's not playing for the money. He's playing because he got the money. I love that. Right now he's not playing for the money. He's playing because he got the money. A lot of guys in professional sports, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, once they get paid, they check out. And I've said it multiple times this season, OG has played phenomenal. I mean, lately he's played like a superstar. Brunson is Brunson. He's been playing phenomenal for this team. Hart, phenomenal that year. You know, phenomenal stuff. And heading into the playoffs, you want to build good habits. And right now, the way OG is playing, and I know Mikal had the bad game versus Cleveland, but nice bounce back game tonight for Mikal. Short-term memory for Mikal Bridges, right? That's what you love, right? 6 shot attempts versus Cleveland. Caught some heat, caught some slings and arrows just due to the fact that he only shot the ball 6 times. And, you know, you had a lot of people saying that he doesn't get up for the big moment. And against these elite teams, he quite frankly hasn't. But shout out to Mikal. I mean, short-term memory. And that's what you want heading into the playoffs, short-term memory. You have a bad game 1, you have a bad game 2, wipe it out. Doesn't matter. When the game is over, doesn't matter. Move on to the next one. And Mikal, 20 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. He's been playing better. He had that hiccup versus Cleveland, but he's been playing better. Him and OG, especially, Wingstop is functioning, ladies and gentlemen. They're in business. And with Jalen Brunson on the horizon coming back tomorrow, you love it. You love it. Andrew says OG is playing really good, but if Towns could stay as tough as he was today, no one can beat us. What's going on, Andrew? El Figgy says OG should definitely get all defensive NBA. Better than Eric Bledsoe or Brooke Lopez. Bobby says, love OG beast mode. Reminds me a little of the best of Randall. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get all defensive NBA. That's it. I think that's a fact. That's a given. There's no way you can sit here and try to convince me that he's not going to be on that team. He will be. And yeah, man. I mean, his leap, it just continues getting me excited, guys. This is a leap for OG Anunoby that we're witnessing. A leap. Right? And, you know, when Brunson went down, we were just like, look, Just stay healthy, get to the playoffs as healthy as possible, and we wanted to see how this thing looked without Jalen Brunson. Well, the record's pretty good. I think they're like 2 games over 500 without Jalen Brunson, if I'm not mistaken. Ball's moving. They're sharing. They're figured out a way to play without Jalen Brunson, obviously. But now is the question, when Brunson comes back, does OG continue this, right? I think he can. I think he will. I think Jalen Brunson, super close. He's getting close. Did a pregame workout. He's a smart player. He's been sitting back watching OG dominate. He's just a very smart player. Look, Jalen Brunson in the playoffs, guys, we're going to need him. But honestly, we're going to need all these guys, right? But now you know you can rely on OG. Now you know you can rely on Mikal, Cat, and JB. Those 4 have to feed off of one another in a playoff series. They do. And it's a good feeling to have heading into a 7-game series versus Detroit or a 7-game series versus Milwaukee, that if Brunson doesn't have it, which I don't think, during the playoffs that will be the case, but you can go to OG and he can dominate. Because quite frankly, I don't think there's, anyone on either team, either Detroit or Milwaukee, that can guard OG Anunoby, right? I don't think there's anyone. So that's what gives me the confidence right now. And that's why I'm feeling great about this team currently going into the playoffs. Prezi says lemon pepper. Isaiah says, love how these positive moments and building habits are happening now. This is very good for the team and for the future. Isaiah says, let's give Landry his flowers too. He's been playing very great as well. Yeah, had the hiccup versus Cleveland, but ultimately Landry Shamet has been solid. And you're looking at a playoff rotation of Shamet, Payne, and Mitch and Deuce off the bench. But I'm here to tell you right now, this guy right here, number 0, I think you gotta play him. I do. And 3 weeks ago, if you were to tell me DeLon Wright would be getting playoff minutes, I would have probably said, what happened? Something went wrong. Like, what happened? Who's hurt? But now you're sitting here on April 5th. Playoffs are in a couple of weeks. And he's giving me no reason to say that he shouldn't play, guys, right? I mean, DeLon Wright has been solid. Defensively, if he's hitting his threes, and I know he's like an average 3-point shooter, but you know what he can provide defensively with his deflections and everything. And look, it's all up to the coach. It's all up to what do you think Tom Thibodeau is going to do, right? I can sit here and clamor for DeLon Wright minutes, and as I should, but it's all up to what Tom Thibodeau is going to do in a playoff series. But quite frankly, it's good problems to have, as they say. It's good problems to have. Because now if these guys don't have it, if Shamet don't have it, if Payne doesn't have it, Precious is not going to play in the playoffs. So if one of those guys doesn't have it, DeLon Wright is sitting there at the bench. You can go to him. Now you have confidence that you can go to him. So the once very scarce Knicks bench, who everyone said, who do you want Thibs to play? And some people said, look, give Wright a shot. Give Kolek a shot. Well, now you have DeLon Wright performing. So, yeah, no Kolek minutes tonight, too. DMP for Tyler Kolek. That was interesting. But shout out to the Knicks, 121, 105, 49, and 28. They are 1 win away from 50. 50. I love my DJ air horn. Shoquan says OG will be a better scorer with Jalen Brunson back. That's the beauty of this Knicks offense. That's how we envision it, right? When the season started, OG can give you 30. Mikal can give you 30. Brunson can give you 40. Cat can give you 40. And lately, you really haven't. I know Brunson went down, but prior to that, you really haven't seen this great Knicks offense that we saw in November when the Knicks were clicking, in December when the Knicks were rolling, like offensively. Defensively, they weren't, playing up to their capabilities, but now you have Mitchell Robinson and Deuce coming back, so we just have to worry about that. But offensively, guys, I know in the playoffs, the game slows down, and it's a different game in the playoffs. Honestly, it's totally different. But right now, this Knicks team is look, they're about to hit 50 wins again, and they're the 3rd seed. And today we have Detroit playing Memphis, and we have Milwaukee in Miami playing Miami. So we gotta, it's just a matter of who you want to play. Castro says DeLon Wright has impressed lately. No complaints. Yeah, he has. Isaiah says we just have to pray for no more hero ball. Yeah, and look, Brunson is gonna do that, right? I mean, but because he's a hero. Like, I love how people say, like, Brunson sometimes he acts like a hero because he is a hero. Like, he's probably gonna win Clutch Player of the Year. Brunson is incredible in the playoffs. I mean, we've seen it firsthand these last couple of years. He's incredible. Like, he's put this team on his back, but this Knicks front office has given him ammunition and weapons now that he doesn't really have to do everything, right? Now OG can drop 30 on you. Mikal's been in the playoffs multiple times, so I'm excited to see Mikal in the playoff series. I am, when the stakes are higher, because I know OG's going to show up. I know Brunson's going to show up. I know Hart's going to show up. Towns, I think, will show up. I think. And I think these guys are sure. I think these guys are ready. I do. El Vicky says, I'm not mad at Thibs' decision to play Wright over Kolek. Yeah, no Kolek tonight because Campaign was back. So Campaign is back, so that pushes Kolek back to the bench. But it was nice seeing Kolek. It was nice seeing the Rook. Obviously, don't think he's going to be out there in the playoffs, in case of an injury. But it's nice to see him go out there, go through growing pains. And, he's an assist merchant, so he has a bright future in this league. So I do think when the time comes for Tyler Kolek, I think the Knicks value him. And I think I think he has a bright future in this league. I do. D. Tyler says Thibs got to pull players out in games like these. Yeah, Hart was 1 rebound away from a trip dub, right? And then, last 2 minutes, Knicks won. The Knicks are up 20, and they pulled them, right? So, the guys played under 35 minutes back-to-back tomorrow. It's going to be interesting if the Knicks rest anyone tomorrow, because it's like, what, you don't need tomorrow. Like, you don't. You want to see it whole. You want to see this Knicks team fully healthy and running and gunning. But, I mean, you got another back-to-back after this, and, you really don't need these games, but it's good to see these games, and it's good to see these guys build great habits, and it's good to see DeLon Wright do his thing. So I think they will play tomorrow. I think the starters will play, but I think it'll be scaled back like tonight. Look, 33 minutes, anytime you can get low minutes like that, Hart 32 minutes, you take it and run, because I think Brunson's going to come back on a minute restriction. I think he's going to play like 20 minutes, and that's it, right? I think he has to average 20 minutes, and 15 minutes, then 15 minutes in his next 4 games to be eligible for All-NBA. I maybe got that mixed up, but I think he's going to be on a minute restriction. But as your schedule winds down here, right, as the season comes to a close, appreciate you guys in the chat. 76 people in here. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. We just talking about this Knicks win, talking about the playoffs, talking about Brunson, OG's greatness. DeLon Wright's playing really well for this team. Mikal, good game. And Knicks are probably going to be fully healthy tomorrow for the first time this season, and that gives me I get excited for that. I do. Isaiah says Mikal, Cam, and OG have all been to the finals. Trust. I trust them. I do. Ortiz, what's going on? If they can play like this every game of the playoffs, we're winning the championship. Love the enthusiasm, Ortiz. Love the confidence. Andrew says Wright is working for that spot. I like his consistency more than Payne. What's up, this Rover? Appreciate you in here. Yeah, I mean, Tony says the bench play and performance will define our playoff run. I agree. I do. But going back to Andrew's comment, Wright is working for that spot. I like his consistency more than Payne. Payne was playing really well in the starting lineup when Brunson went out. But Wright just brings intangibles, right? Defensively, that's why Thibs, I shouldn't say loves him, but that's why Thibs is going to him now because of his defense. That's why he started him over Kolek. So the question is now is game one versus Detroit or game one versus Milwaukee. You know who your starting five is going to be. You know who two players off the bench are going to be. I think I know who the third is. Mitch, Deuce, Shamit. I think those are locked in. Mitch, Deuce, Shamit. I think Payne and Wright, it's gonna go by the game. I think it has to. I think in the first half, if Payne is not playing well, you got to go to Wright in the second half. But you guys know playoff time, minutes shrink. Starters play much more minutes. Brunson averages 40 minutes a game. So these pockets, these areas where you can try to get DeLon Wright in the basketball game, I think have to be very strategic. And I think he should play, though. I do. 5 games left, guys. Crazy we're here. Tomorrow, we got a back-to-back versus Phoenix, Boston, Detroit, Cleveland, Brooklyn. Look, Knicks don't really need these games, but you want to see these guys build good habits. Brunson, I know, wants to get to 65 wins. So you know Brunson's going to play 4 more games. So you figure Brunson's going to play tomorrow, Boston, and he's going to sit one of these games, either at Detroit or versus Cleveland. I think he's probably going to sit at Detroit, right? That could be a first-round matchup preview, by the way. So, and then at Brooklyn. So Brunson's going to play his 4 games, get his 65, and then get all NBA as he should. Well-deserved for Jalen Brunson. But the rest of the crew, like, I personally think, like, I mean, at Detroit, April 10th, I'm not chancing anything. I mean, those guys may want to take you out that game. Like, OG out, Cat out. Like, nope. You're not playing. Like, nope. Detroit's a scrappy bunch, man. They are. They're physical. Very physical. So, yeah, we wind it down here, man. Ortiz says DeLon Wright kept our nemesis on lock today. Once again, Trae Young is now 7-17 versus the Knicks in his career. This rower says, everyone, say goodbye to Tyler real quick. We won't see him again until November. Damn. Shout out to Tyler Kolek, man. Shout out to Tyler Kolek. Stay ready. You never know. Stay ready. Stay ready out there. You never know. But, yeah, Wright has just been playing well. Payne is above him, so there's really no place for him in the playoffs. But he has to stay ready, and he has stayed ready because he hasn't played since – remember, he hasn't played since January 1st in like minutes that mattered, and then he came in and performed really well for this team. So he's always staying ready. Just stay ready behind the scenes, and, your time will come. I think you have a bright future in this league, but shout out to Kolek. D. Tyler says Wright definitely out there playing better than Payne all around. Yeah. Guys, I think it's a question. It's probably going to be a debate that I'm probably going to bring up with Chris or with LV, and we're going to talk about it. But because I know campaign is valuable too. His energy, his threes, even though he's a poor defender, he fights. He's a great team defender. And his energy is contagious like that, especially in the playoffs. And we saw last year when he was with Philly, right? He really got them back in that game. He just came in the game and just gave them an energy punch that they needed. And campaign will do that. And I think campaign was brought here to do that. And he has done that this season. He's been good. But if he's going to perform poorly and not going to give you that energy punch, Well, now you have Knicks fans like, all right, Tom Thibodeau, you can go to DeLon Wright. We've seen what Wright can do. Because before, we haven't seen what he can do because you weren't playing him. Now you're playing him, and Wright has been performing. So now we know that he can provide value. So, there's going to be a game in the playoffs where Thibs is not going to go to DeLon Wright and Payne's going to perform poorly. And I don't even want to think about that. But, yeah, right. Shout out to Wright. Shout out to Wright. Rent says, love how the Knicks have looked without Cap, but I would like Cap to keep the ball moving and show more trust throughout the game with the other guys. He can get back to that 7 and 9 assists per game. Love it, because that's where he was at. On the season, what's Brunson's assist averages on 6? He's at 7.5 a game on the season. But I want to go back to November, right? 10 assists, 8 assists, 10, 11, 10, 17, 8, 7, 6. So he hasn't had 15 November. Like you want when Brunson is dishing the rock like that, that's when he's at his best. Obviously. Final 2 minutes, you want the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands because he's that lethal, right? So you want the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands. But this month of November, this is why I keep going back to it. The reason why this Knicks offense was just dominant, right, is because obviously Brunson was playing extremely well, number one. And the guys were playing, like Mikal was doing his thing, OG was doing his thing, Cat was doing his thing. But the assists were also up as a team and from your point guard in Jalen Brunson in that month. So in the playoffs, it's easy to just say Brunson just has to get his assist up for this Knicks offense to click. I know it's different in the playoffs. But now teams in the playoffs can't trap as much, right? They can't double team Brunson as much. But if they do, you can give it to OG and he can do his thing, right? So I know I was kind of nervous about Detroit last week, guys. But if OG's going to play like this, I'm not. I know we can beat Detroit. Obviously, I would rather Milwaukee. But if OG's playing like this, the Knicks should honestly 5 games in the first round. Honestly, I know that's honestly the Knicks should just get to 5, maybe 6. Sweep either Detroit or Milwaukee. I know I'm talking crazy right now, but honestly, I just feel that good because of the way OG's playing right now. That's how I feel. This Knicks team should coast to the first round. If Detroit starts to give them issues, if Milwaukee gives them issues, it doesn't bode well for the second round, then you won't go into that round with a sense of confidence. But I think the way this team is currently playing, OG especially, is getting me extremely excited for what's to come, right? Let's go. Appreciate you guys in here once again. 121-105. Playoffs are just around the corner, less than 3 weeks away. Brunson back tomorrow. Appreciate you guys tuning in on this Saturday evening, April 5th. This Rover says, I like to say I never doubted Wright. I always thought he was going to be our David Justice, veteran using up the last bits of basketball he has left in him. Love that comp. Yeah. Veteran in this league, veteran presence. And when the Knicks made that trade, right, they traded Jericho Sims to Milwaukee. And a lot of people were like, okay, like you're getting depth just in case, because you can always need depth in the playoffs because, as you know, last couple of years the Knicks have been dealing with injuries. So it's good to have that depth in the playoffs. And Wright has just proved to you that he can play. He can perform well. It's good. It's good to have. It's a good problem to have. Great problem to have. Would love to see Detroit. Beasley needs to stop his antics. Keith says, greetings from the ATL. Keith, did you go to the game today? A lot of Knicks fans in ATL I saw today. A lot of Knicks fans chanting, let's go Knicks. I might think about traveling with the Knicks too. Milwaukee or Detroit. I might travel with them because I would like to travel and be on the road with our guys. I think that'll be fun to be on the road, either in Milwaukee, Detroit, live from Milwaukee. I got to look at the schedule, but it's a high probability. Just letting you guys know. So, yeah, I mean, look, build good habits, right? Nicky Axe says McBride should play tomorrow for rare whole team together. Yeah, first time. If the Knicks are healthy tomorrow, it'll be the first time all season that they're fully healthy. Mitch back, Deuce back, Payne back. So, Nicky Axe says Atlanta looked empty. This Rover says hotel post-game show. Yeah. Look, it's either the Knicks are going to play Milwaukee or Detroit. So, it's either I'm booking a flight to Milwaukee or I'm booking a flight to Detroit. Post-game show live from the either arena. I'll probably get heckled. But I it's the playoff time, man. It's the exciting, most exciting time of the year right now. So I love it. I love it. OG, man. Guys. His transition game has improved as well for OG. Because remember in the year, it wasn't like this. Like his transition game, his decisions on the fast breaks, his handle around the rim. Because remember, it was looking funky early on. And now it's improved, man. And his whole game has improved. His stock has just skyrocketed over these last few weeks, man. Skyrocketed. And look, if OG, Cat, and Brunson are all on their game and Mikal doing his thing, that's what make this Knicks team scary. And I know we're staring at the Celtics in the second round. I know. But in order to beat a great team like Boston, you need your guys to play perfectly. You need to play perfectly, right? And anything can happen in a 7-game series in the second round, but these guys need to play like they've been playing. And Mikal needs to step up against these big opponents. He needs to, because the bullseye will be on him, right? But I have faith in that Mikal can. He's been to a finals before. He's performed in a finals before. So, yes, he's had down games, but the thing I love about Mikal is that he has short-term memory. Like, he has a bad game, then next game he can snap out of it, forget about it, and have a great game. And that's what you need heading into the playoffs. Guys with short-term memory, like, all right, I had a bad game. Let me not carry this over to the next game. You got to, if you lose, move on. Move on. If you have a bad game, move on. Learn from it, watch tape. And we've seen that from Mikal. He's a short-term memory. You love it. Eddie says, will JB be on a restricted minutes tomorrow? I think so. If you guys want to hop into Discord and call in, you guys can. Let me just pin the link in the chat for you guys so you guys can call into the show. There's the link. Join the Discord. Go to postgame call in. I believe you have to wait like 10 minutes if you're already not a member. But if you guys wanted to hop in, join the show, you guys can. Whoa, sorry. That was a double screen really quick. Appreciate you guys tuning in, though. 6:13 Eastern. Knicks playing well. OG playing fantastic. And look, now you get you guys back. You get Brunson back. You get Deuce back. I was getting worried about Deuce. I was. I'm not going to lie to you. I was getting worried about Deuce because the injury was kind of like weird. He finished the game, and then all of a sudden he got the injury tag with the strain. And those are never good. But Deuce is another valuable asset off this bench. Let's not forget that because we need him. We need these guys off the bench to perform. Like, our starters can do so much, and I know they're great at times, but we need our bench to perform well and perform as a unit, and I think they can. But Deuce is looking like he's coming back, and let's get this train rolling. Let's get this train rolling, guys. All right, so the games we are watching tonight are Memphis and Detroit, and Milwaukee's at Miami. Miami has actually been playing well. So if you go to the standings, Tori says, I've seen enough to know we can run with anyone. Hey, look, I know this Knicks team hasn't given you any sense of confidence against the Celtics and against the Cavs, but it's a different game in the playoffs. You got to see it, right? You got to see it. But if they're going to play like this, if OG's going to dominate like this, if OG's going to dominate his matchup, and it'd probably be Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown, bodes well for this Knicks team. Josh Hart is also the X factor a little bit because they're going to stick Porzingis on Hart. I know I'm thinking ahead to the second round, but there's just a bunch of X factors. So, if OG is going to dominate like this, though, with Brunson, sky's the limit for this team. And I know our bench has warts, but, OG is really getting me excited right now. Like, truly, it's been a heck of a leap that we've witnessed and watched, honestly. And the main thing with him is that he's healthy, which is why I think you got to think about shutting these guys down in these next couple of games. So, Nicky Ack says we need more defense, more and size at point. Sometimes we have small guards. Just Rover says, Batory, we've got absolutely smoked by number 1, number 2, number 3 in the league. Tony says, Ant, talk about that fourth quarter for us and sloppy turnovers. Tony, game's over, right? It's all about mindset. Game's over. I know you got to clean up the turnovers in the fourth quarter. I understand that, but the Knicks were dominating the whole game, right? And the game's over. The guys, loosey-goosey. I know you want to be disciplined, but Hawks didn't look like they wanted to be out there. We smoked them. Belt to ass, man. So, Nicky Ack says if we win one more, Pacers have to run the table. It's basically a lock. Tori says you do realize we haven't had a full squad against any of those guys, right? Yeah, exactly. Cleveland hasn't seen Mitch. Boston hasn't seen Mitch. I know it's not like we've looked really bad against the Boston Celtics, but, it's something to throw out there. Against Boston, you got all hands on deck. You can't be too predictable. Tom Thibodeau just has to switch it up. We've even talked about maybe possibly starting a Deuce McBride. Just throw different looks at Boston. But you got to get past the first round, right? It's either Milwaukee, Detroit. We got to worry about them. But I do think the way this Knicks team is playing right now, look, right now, if the season ended today, it would be Knicks, Bucks. The Bucks own the tiebreaker over the Detroit Pistons. Those two have back-to-back games to close out the season. The Bucks play the Pistons, and the Pistons, I think it's home and away, by the way. I don't think it's home and home. But the game tonight that you're watching is Detroit, Memphis at Detroit, Milwaukee at Miami. Let's say, Anthony prediction here, Detroit wins, Milwaukee loses at Miami. Very well possibility because I think Cade is back tonight, by the way. He's been hurt. He's been out. So Cade Cunningham is coming back for Detroit. Let's say Detroit wins, Milwaukee loses. Well, that essentially pushes the Milwaukee Bucks a game and a half back of the Detroit Pistons. But again, Milwaukee owns a tiebreaker. So this is going to come back. This is going to come down to the final 2 games of the season, I personally think. Unless one of these teams fall off the face of the earth in these next few games, right? Milwaukee has a back-to-back at Miami, at New Orleans. That's tough. New Orleans stinks, but Minnesota's tough. So it's going to come down to the final 2 games of the season for them. And it's just a matter of who the basketball gods want the New York Knicks to play. Right now I think the chances are higher facing the Pistons due to the fact that the Pistons, I think, have a harder schedule than the Milwaukee Bucks. And they play us too. So Memphis, Sacramento, us. I don't know. Do the Knicks sit majority of their players in that game? I don't know. It's interesting. El Figgy says the Bucks and the Pistons are 1 game away from each other, and we have to play Detroit this week. Just Rover, for all but one of those 8 games against OKC and Cleveland, it was. Nicky Ack says, last few years we competed and won a few against Boston and Mitch, so don't want to hear we can't play Mitch against Boston nonsense. It's a new wrinkle that Boston hasn't seen. And against Boston, you need all hands on deck and you need to throw everything out there, right? And look, it's going to be a tough series when we get there, but right now we just have to focus on round 1. right? And look, I really would prefer this to be kind of locked up already and, knowing your opponent. But yeah, I mean, that's the way it is. But I would say if I were to guess, this is tough. What is it, the Pistons schedule? Man, it's tough, man. I don't know. It's either or. It's either or. Flip a coin. I do think Milwaukee's going to be easier, though, for this Knicks team. We've handled them in the season. Possibly could be without Dame. But Detroit's young and inexperienced, but they play tough, and they play like the Detroit Pistons. And that stadium is probably going to be rocking, going crazy in that stadium. So, yeah, I mean, we shall see. We shall see. Who do you guys want to play, Detroit or Milwaukee? Detroit or Milwaukee? I know most of you want to play Milwaukee. I've seen some people out there want to play Detroit, but I think it's honestly if to me, I'm getting to a point where I don't, it doesn't matter to me, because that's how dominant OG Anunoby has played, and that's how much confidence he has given me. That I think it's either Detroit or Milwaukee. This Knicks team should beat them. First round should be not easy, but first round should be good for the New York Knicks. Should be. So, we shall see, man. This Rover says wanting to go head-to-head with the Pistons is a fool's errand. Yeah, I was trying to avoid the Pistons, man. I really am. But I know they just had that brawl in Minnesota. Isaiah Stewart's a nutcase. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago? He was just pulled down Giannis and just it was a nutcase. Those guys played street ball, prison ball. That's how the Pistons play, prison ball. And they've had our number this year. They're 2-1 against us, depending on how it looks this week on Thursday. But Pistons are 2-1 against us this year. So they've had our number this year. And I know history shows that your record versus a team in the regular season doesn't necessarily correlate to the playoffs. It doesn't. So, but if I were to pick, I would pick Milwaukee. And that right there, they have Giannis who can go for 40, 20, and 10. Right? So, but this Knicks team is playing at a level where I think it doesn't matter who their first round opponent is. Battle tested or not, I think this Knicks team should fare well against them. Tori says, I don't care who we play, I just want to win. Yeah, I agree. I think they will. Nicky Axe says, don't want to hear about next year, 5 games from playoffs. We upset Boston. We will win the Eastern Conference Finals and play for a chip. There is a path for the New York Knicks to get there. There is. Everything has to click well. Everything has to go well. First round, you should win. Second round is where, obviously, people are going to write your obituary and be like, great season, but we're not giving you a chance versus Boston. Now, there's a path to beat Boston. There is. It's extremely hard. I'm not saying we're not going to do it. But if you're telling me if the Knicks take care of business in round 1, they're clicking, OG's dominating, Brunson's back, Cat's doing his thing, you're going to feel good going into round 2. I know, again, it's the Celtics, but it's the playoffs. It's different. It's different. And Mitch is that piece that Boston hasn't seen. I've known they've seen him before, but I'm saying this year. So, and Thibs just has to be all hands on deck. Maybe game 1, you start Mitch with Cat. And Boston's like, oh, we haven't seen this before. Maybe you start Deuce. You just have to throw different looks at them. You have to in order to beat them. They're that good. So, It's a tough path. It is, which is why a lot of people thought the Knicks would fare well falling back to the 4th seed, so you can get Cleveland in the second round. But Cleveland's great. I mean, they've beaten us too. So it's just anything happens in a playoff series. Anything. Guys get hurt, twisted ankle here, like it happens all the time in professional sports. All the time. Teams lose their best players. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but you never know in these playoffs. At least you're in. And you have a great opportunity in round 1. And round 2, it's all hands on deck. It's all hands on deck. But I'm excited. I am. I'm excited because OG is looking like a superstar right now. And he's looking like a talent that, quite frankly, I knew that I didn't think this version of OG was there. But he's a stud. He's a stud. Nick Yak says, if we beat Boston, we will beat Cleveland and play for the chip. If I don't believe that with this team, why be a fan? Hey, you could have the Miami Heat magical run with Jimmy Butler, right? It could happen. Like somebody, maybe OG turns into that. And just like, wow, man, we riding OG. Pause. we riding with this guy, man. Maybe, look, anything is possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but, I mean, that's how great he looks. He looks incredible. Shout out to OG. El Figgy says, I think Milwaukee is crazy to be bringing Dame back. He's on blood thinners. Yeah. Just Rover says, and one player being out is not a good excuse for losing to teams like the G League Magic in January. Yeah. I'm trying to see if we have any post-game comments from the guys. But, yeah, man, they're one win away from 50. And it's just a matter of staying healthy. Right? Tom Thibodeau, 4th on the list. Most wins by a head coach in Knicks history. Once again, give it up for Tom Thibodeau. Look, 2 weeks ago, I came on here, hopped on the train, and I still am on the train. If you know, you know. I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to go down that path again. Because right now I feel great about this team. I feel good. And with JB coming back especially. But it's all going to lie on what happens in the playoffs. Like, how does it look? Right? But you can't sit here and argue against the fact that Tom Thibodeau has 5 years ago, he was signed as the Knicks head coach, and he came in here and changed the culture. All he's done is win, and you can't deny that. Right? It's looked... Obviously, he has his moments, but I really want to see how it looks this postseason, and we just go from there. So, shout out to Tom Thibodeau, 4th most in wins. Wow, that's crazy. 5 years, 4th most in wins. All right, what we looking like? Appreciate you guys in the chat once again. Give me your time. Subscribe. Like, all the good stuff. You can hop in the Discord. You can call in. We do call-in shows. I also do film sessions, film reviews. If you would like to become a member, you can support the channel. I really do appreciate that. We have a few members already. Appreciate all the members. I do film sessions, go through all the tape and whatnot. I release that every single Sunday. So appreciate you guys, giving me your time. And just yeah, I'm excited, man. It's playoff time. This is when it's real. This is it. A lot of people just wait for April, right? A lot of people just like, get me to April. Get me to April. I want to see how this Knicks team looks like in the playoffs. And you're healthy. Knock on wood. You're playing well. OG's dominating. Mikal and OG seem to have clicked together. Wright has come out of the blue and has given you valuable minutes. Cat with his 9th game with 30 and 10 on the season. 19th game this season with 30 and 10. Cat's just been awesome, obviously. Yeah, does he have defensive flaws? Yes, but right now I'm in a feel-good mood. I feel good about this team. Jay the Don says Thibs didn't play Kolek at all this game. Hopefully he don't go back to his old ways when JB and Deuce come back. Jay the Don, we were talking about the Delon Wright aspect. Kolek didn't play because Campaign is back. But tomorrow is going to be a telling. Like, watch the rotations. He's going to tell you who he's going to play tomorrow. Brunson's going to come back tomorrow. He's going to start. Newsflash, he's going to start. But who comes off the bench? Watch quarter one, quarter two. Is it Payne? Is it Wright? Who is it? If Deuce is back, he's going to obviously play. That will tell you who Tom Thibodeau is going to play in the playoffs. And if you were to say, Anthony, what do you think? I would say it's Payne. I would say he's all about, look, Payne has been solid for us this year. He's been playing really well for us. Has he had his moments? Yes, but I don't think he's going to take his job away from him. You know how Thibs is. But like I said, if Payne is going to struggle, we need to see Wright. We need to see Wright. So, and Wright has been playing well for us. Delon Wright does everything right. He just does all the intangibles, man. Like 10 points, 2 steals, 6 steals in his last 3 games, 8 steals in his last 4 games. 8 steals for Delon Wright in his last 4 games. 10 points, 7 points, 12 points, 7 points, 12 points. 2 of 5, 1 of 2, 1 of 2, 1 of 5, 2 of 4. It started in that Milwaukee game, right? Yeah, the more I think about it, I think you gotta find minutes for him. I do. Because one thing that has hampered this team obviously has been a 3-point defense as well. And I know Payne is small, but Wright does a great job at contesting, and obviously he's an above average defender. I think you gotta find minutes for him. I think you do. I don't think you can go into game 1 and just have 8 guys coming off the bench. And it's Deuce, it's Mitch, and it's Shamet, and then that's it. Look, I know if you win, great, but I just like what I'm seeing from Wright. I do. But we shall see. I mean, we're gonna know tomorrow. Like, if everyone's healthy, if everyone's back, you're gonna see if Thibs goes to Wright. Man, he should. Right? Merit based. He's been playing well. And one thing, he's been hitting his threes. Nicky X says, and Wright will replace Payne as a ninth man if we play 9 some games for 7 minutes. I think you're going to see a 9. I do think you're going to see 9 to start. I think as the series goes on, Thibs will shrink that to 8. Second half is different from the first half, right? Thibs has shown you in the past his second half substitutions are different from his first half substitutions. So he could go 9 in the first half, but in the second half, he could go 8. He could go 7. So, and it's the playoffs. These guys are going to play a lot, as they should, right? As they should. I mean, I remember 2 years ago, Brunson played the entire game versus the Miami Heat in Madison Square Garden. Entire game. Last year, Josh Hart was playing entire games. And me, although I like to see those guys on the court, if you want to advance, you got to get these guys some rest. And I think Wright has shown you that he should play and he could play. Dis Rover says, I prefer to see Wright over Deuce for the playoffs. I don't think so. I don't get that crazy, dude. I don't get that crazy, Dis Rover. L Figure says, guys, let's act like we just blew out a team that's been our thorn in our side this season. Yeah, it was a good win, man. It was a good win. for the New York Knicks. They brought out the belt, man. They made me bring out the belt, man. 121-105 against the Atlanta Hawks. Had to bring out the belt to start. But look, we got a game tomorrow, guys. Another game. The captain is back. Jalen Brunson is back, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Brunson is back. Can't wait for that. Once again, appreciate you guys, though, in the chat. I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your Saturday evening. Stay safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Once again, playoffs are coming, and I'm excited. I'm excited to go on the road. I may be going on the road with the Knicks, live from the hotel room in Milwaukee or Detroit. But appreciate you guys in the chat. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. I'm Anthony. Peace.